especially for everybody to find out what's really been going on in the background. Y'all don't see the lineup?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit.
If you take people like Jay-Z and T, they made their living killing our people. So they'll stand up for our people. You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, oh, Beyonce had the best fit for somebody else?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth, I think they'd go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars.
Man.
Liars are now the face of our culture.
It is the mark of a villain. Kidnapping children is not what great nations do.
You know, lyrics all written by Sean Carter. What kind of 27-year-old grown man turns a 14, 15-year-old girl virtually into a prostitute and gave her the nickname the Ill Nana? No kidding.
The digital world ignited when fresh Epstein-linked papers restarted public investigation into influential figures like Jay-Z and Pusha T. Based on reports, these individuals were mentioned regarding social or career links within records connected to Jeffrey Epstein's extensive circle. Crucially, no illegal charges were filed against either musician in the documents, and being listed does not suggest any crime. Nevertheless, in the current environment, even secondary references hold massive significance. What caused this situation to blow up was not merely the files, but the timing. Jay-Z has forever been seen as a top powerhouse in contemporary music and commerce. A person who meticulously manages his public persona and keeps scandals at a distance. Consequently, when his identity emerged in a situation linked to one of the most notorious crimes of the present age, it instantly caused doubt and triggered rumors. News agencies were cautious with their language, highlighting that the records list names rather than formal charges. Even so, public sentiment seldom pauses for detail. Internet talk rapidly moved from interest to distrust, as followers and detractors similarly analyzed past pictures, conversations, and business ties. Pusha T's mention also surfaced, contributing an additional dimension and pulling focus toward how closely connected high-level social groups can be.
Out of drill, Pusha T and Jay-Z have both been revealed to be in the Epstein files. A few moments ago, we have just received shocking news within the music world that two major artists in the rap game were revealed to be in the Epstein files, like Pusha T and Jay-Z. Now, specifically in the Epstein file, Pusha T is accused of doing something to a woman that is very disturbing, with it saying in approximately 2007, a woman attended a party following an invitation from an unknown man who approached her as she walked down the street. Weinstein and Pusha T also attended the party and drugged her and ended up doing other things. And as for Jay-Z, the details are a lot more disturbing, within the files claiming that Jay-Z was doing something to a woman while she was sleeping, with it saying from her home she then later woke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter Jay-Z, while Weinstein had inserted his fingers into you-know-what. Nonetheless though, what he has in my entire situation, Pusha T and Jay-Z have both been name dropped in the Epstein files.
Much earlier than Jay-Z's identity trended regarding any records, vocalist Jaguar Wright had already established herself as a provocative whistleblower inside the sector. For decades, she has cautioned listeners that the rhythmic trait functions on quietness, devotion, and chosen forgetfulness. Her identity frequently reappears during instances like this because she has steadily asserted that prominent icons were shielded while disturbing narratives were hidden. One of the initial and most delicate subjects Jaguar discussed was the passing of Aaliyah. She never provided forensic evidence, nor did she charge anyone officially in legal proceedings, but she continually doubted the conditions encompassing the misfortune and the industry's reaction toward it. Her objective was not to allocate fault, but to emphasize how rapidly the structure progressed and how minor investigation influential icons encountered later. Back then, numerous people ignored her as resentful or untrustworthy. Different people claimed she was talking passionately instead of realistically. However, as additional industry mysteries have emerged throughout the years, certain followers now reflect and speculate if her cautions were less regarding particular incidents and more regarding models of conduct.
There's so much I want to talk to you about, but while I still have you and we're talking on this topic, let's talk about the ages, because he was after Beyonce when she was before 18, correct? I mean, as we go through the timeline, they claim, oh no, I met him at 18 and then we waited till I was 19, but they knew each other when she was like 15, 16, correct? You clearly had eyes, and it's not the only one, right? There's Aaliyah as well. I was looking at these photos. There's a history of this, right?
Definitely. A lot of people don't realize the timeline, but after everything went bad with Robert Kelly and he had to divorce Aaliyah, Jay-Z was interested while she was still underage. And as she started spending more time in New York, he was very, very, very right there. She didn't want that. She didn't want that with him. And if there's one thing I can tell you about Sean Carter, being embarrassed and being rejected are things he does not handle well. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you're crazy. He didn't do anything to Big L. He didn't do anything to Lamont Coleman. But I think people tend to forget, if Dame had successfully signed Lamont to Rockefeller, we wouldn't even know about Reasonable Doubt. It would have stayed a cult classic, probably sold 750,000. If Lamont Coleman had signed to Rockefeller, he would have been the star. He's always removed anything that can make him look as average as he is. I don't know how many times they used to tell the story, oh, he has a photographic memory. He remembers all of his lyrics, yet he's always had a teleprompter in the floor at his shows. That's why he would always sit down and look down at make it look like he was looking at his shoes. No, he was reading the lyrics. He is a magician. Everything you see about him is an illusion. But what he loves the most is controlling youth.
Well, that was something Nas said way back, saying, yeah, he was indulging with these back with R. Kelly.
And I wish I hadn't signed paperwork. And I wish I hadn't taken money. I wish.
Well, there's a lot of that you can't say.
Everybody else that didn't. I spent my time collecting these people. And they will have their day, and we will all get justice.
But what's crazy to me is, like, I don't see how anyone can come after you and call you crazy when we're going through it. And this is Aaliyah, Rihanna, Beyonce. There's a history of these.
Inga Marchand, also known as Foxy Brown, one of his first female artists, who was the little cousin of DJ Clark Kent, who just passed away from some cancer we didn't even know he had.
Now, she's denying it, but many say it's because she signed an NDA. Is that why?
Well, she did sign an NDA, and he's still paying her and her mother's bills right now. If anyone should be ashamed, it should be Inga. All of those diseases that she contracted from all of that unprotected him. And I'm not saying alleged. You say allegedly. I'm not, because I know it to be true. She had my cousin right after that. She burned him. She set the numbers for the CDC in Philly on a new high at 15, 16, 17 years old. She was running all around Philadelphia because Jay-Z promised her that they could be, normal when she wasn't with Corrupt. Corrupt was a fake boyfriend, which is why when they tried to use her to say that she was actually in the car and there with Keefy D and all of that, I'm like, that girl wasn't even there. These women are pawns. Inga Marchand at 14 years old, 14 and a half, going on 15 years old, singing highly explicit and sexual.
Following the start of Jay-Z's name spreading across the web, the dialogue intensified immensely once Nicki Minaj utilized social platforms with a string of volatile remarks without mentioning Jay-Z explicitly. In each upload, her phrasing left small uncertainty regarding whom she was targeting. She stated, "Your preferred musician has been performing ceremonies in a demonic sect where they snatch infants from different nations and disfigure and murder them as a type of bloody offering to their deity. You perceive, when your ruler is the devil, you must perpetually spill blood. Nevertheless, the game is over." She continued with a different post. Are you all comprehending that these individuals have been offering kids as a method of acquiring and keeping authority? If you ever support Democrats again, you are exactly as heartless as they are and shall pass away. Perhaps it is the moment for me to perform some storytelling because I was attempting to not reveal what I understand. Still, they persist in trying to intimidate. Furthermore, I will not be launching a record until my agreement is revised and until I inform you about every disruption this investigation is discovering regarding Billboard. The response was instantaneous and dividing. Certain followers viewed Nicki as courageous, at last talking openly after years of sector stress. Different people faulted her for creating radical assertions without proof, cautioning that talk like this fades the boundary between responsibility and plots. Jaguar Wright rapidly expressed backing for Nicki, strengthening previous remarks about industry authority disparities and mentioning how Beyoncé was merely 17 when Jay-Z reportedly followed her. A statement Jaguar has reiterated previously without judicial confirmation.
A lot of this, specifically about Jay-Z. And there are some clips I want to watch with you, particularly one of Rihanna that really freaked me out. This clip, guys, if you haven't seen it, which I hadn't seen it till this morning when I saw this headline, Kim found it for me. Let's watch this clip quickly.
Crazy
Let's
that you
watch
haven't
Tyra
seen this.
pushing to get this out of Rihanna, and when it does, man, it made me feel very, very uncomfortable.
Audition. Yes. But before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
And you had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Pon de Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
Yeah. So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it homework.
I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
And
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar? He threatened her. This is her own words coming out of her mouth, and she was a kid at that time, correct?
15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed. Everyone was talking about it. And the 6 hours that she spent with him, and the 4 hours that she spent alone with him with no parental supervision. Her father didn't show up till the next day to come and collect the check.
Well, and there's
This isn't her life.
The rumors were even beyond that, right? That Jay-Z was cheating on Beyonce with her when she was
Very much
17
so.
is what a lot of this came out through a publicist who later then
Have
had
you
to
spoken
apologize.
to my friend Jonathan Hay? You should talk to Jonathan.
Please.
Because Jonathan was there. He was right there working with Rihanna. And it was right when they started crafting her to be seen as a brand and commodity only and not a person. And when I talk to Jonathan now, just to hear him when he thinks of his teenage daughters, he was like, Rihanna was the same age my girls are now. I couldn't imagine putting my daughters through what we put her through. And then the next thing you know, she was removed from that first team from Pon de Replay and replaced with all new handlers and kept sheltered in Los Angeles, where she was going out to parties and partying at 15, 16, 17 years old, hanging out at the Rainbow Room, hanging out. Yeah, like it was one of my friends who found out she was 17 when everyone thought she was 21. And he was like, yo, why do y'all got me carrying this girl around and she's
Nevertheless, the situation quickly changed. Detractors started highlighting Nicki's personal scandals and governmental connections, such as previous national instances featuring Donald Trump during her youth. Even famous individuals started reacting. Grammy presenter Trevor Noah subtly alluded to her remarks, causing Nicki to share the identical note once more, intensifying her stance instead of backing away.
Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues.
Actually, Nikki, I have the biggest ass. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nikki. I know they say it's you, but it's me. Wop, wop, wop. Look at it. Look at it, baby.
To that, Nikki reacted with a different tweet stating, Trevor declines to reveal his true identity when everybody in the sector understands his male partner. Supposedly, as the internet dialogue grew stronger, a more silent but very apparent transition started occurring backstage. Lacking declarations, conversations, or national clarifications, Jay-Z and Beyoncé began dropping subscribers across digital social sites. In the present electronic world, where communal connection is cautiously controlled, even a quiet removal of a follow can hold significance. Numerous prominent identities were noticed no longer tracking Jay-Z, featuring Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, Ms. Tina Knowles, Beyoncé's personal parent, Kelly Rowland, Apple Music, and even the NFL. Not one of those profiles provided explanations or discussed the shift openly. Even so, followers were fast to record and distribute images, transforming what could have stayed hidden into a significant discussing topic.
Beyoncé and her husband Jay-Z are officially the most unfollowed people all across social media, and all their fans are turning against them. Yeah, I am not kidding. For those of you that did not see yesterday, the final batch of the Epstein files were released, consisting of over 3 million pages, and in a few of those pages, Jay-Z was actually named in them, revealing that he did some very terrible things, so terrible that I cannot repeat them in this video. So after finding out all the terrible things that Jay-Z has done, people no longer want to associate or support Jay-Z in any way, shape, or form, so they are unfollowing him all across social media and unfollowing his wife Beyoncé as well because she is involved with him.
Even lacking charges, closeness to disgrace can be perceived as a burden. In that framework, the choice to silently withdraw instead of openly protecting or blaming expresses much. One instance that pulled specific focus happened during the Grammys, where spectators observed a clumsy engagement between Jay-Z and Rihanna. Lenses seemed to film Rihanna physically withdrawing, with Jay-Z apparently urging her to recognize him nationally. The video rapidly went viral, not due to anything clearly stated, but due to what individuals sensed while viewing it. Physical gestures became proof in the tribunal of communal belief.
Dad, I know I promised you I'm going to give you my first Grammy, but we might have to fight for this one.
She said she wanted to thank everybody for her first Grammy.
Anyway, I'd like to thank Jay-Z for being a part of this record with me.
She liked to thank Jigga Man for being the greatest in the world.
Ellen Reed, Steve Bartles, Tata, Jay Brown, Karen Kwok for finding this amazing record. Tricky, Dream for writing such a beautiful record.
While viewers re-examined past dialogues and emerging videos, a different identity started spreading alongside Jaguar Wright's, Sloan Bella. Periods before Diddy's national scandals reached a climax, Sloan had created forecasts implying that influential characters in the media sector would ultimately encounter sudden collapses. Back then, her remarks were mostly ignored as dramatic or theoretical. Nevertheless, once Diddy's status started to dissolve openly, certain spectators began reassessing her previous claims, not essentially as proven data, but as a piece of a wider model. The concept gathering momentum digitally was not that Sloan or Jaguar possessed secret evidence, but that veteran watchers of the trade can occasionally perceive when authority frameworks are shaky.
So this is Sloan Bella. Sloan Bella is a psychic medium. She actually predicts the future and sees things. She has not missed yet. She actually predicted all of this about P. Diddy 6 to 9 months ago, and it's all on her page. So she actually has some more predictions about Jay-Z and Beyonce and countless others. Check it out.
Headed for the next 3 years, 25, 26, and 27, with the beginning initial stages of the knockdown when it comes to Jay-Z. When they take him down, they're going to take Beyonce down behind him. And here's what I'm getting. I am getting both Jay-Z and Beyonce, because see, he procures her out there. He is her handler, and he is the one that pushes her out there public, and then he profits off her. So we're looking at, she was chosen for him. It is a karmic thing looking at their chart, but she was chosen for him in order to help him get where he needed to go. So she's the muse, but let's use this in a different way. Sometimes we use the word muse in the terms of profiteering off of it. He's very aware of entertainers, male and female, where he needs to go to keep his money coming in and what he's actually selling. He is going to be shaken up. Now, what I do see 3 years from now, him, his wife, and his kid, I don't know if there's more than one kid, see them with suitcases, and I literally see them leaving. So their residence will no longer be in the United States. This is what I'm seeing, and this happens by 2027, if not sooner, 2025 through 2027. And it's going to start crumbling.
With Diddy's collapse still vivid in communal memory, the inquiry numerous people are currently posing is inescapable. Might Jay-Z encounter a comparable destiny? It is a serious analogy and one that necessitates care. At present, there are no accusations, legal actions, or confirmed claims against Jay-Z linked to the ongoing dialogue. Even so, public sentiment does not always pause for judicial results. Jay-Z signifies more than merely a musical profession. He is an emblem of commercial triumph, societal impact, and tactical quietness. For decades, he has thrived in remaining above scandal, frequently by expressing very little indeed. However, the regulations of the match have transformed. Viewers today anticipate openness and quietness can rapidly be viewed as dodging.
Y'all feel like they coming for Jay-Z next? How they did Diddy?
I think he's too wrapped in these white men's nuts. He got to do something to buck first. You know what I'm saying? They got him under their arms. I think Jay-Z fine. I think he do exactly what these white people tell him to.
He fall in
if
line.
you ask me, he fall in line. He don't do. He got to do something first.
The argument they come in with to defend Jay-Z is in '96 he wouldn't have been able to be around these type of circles. Why is he hanging around billionaires in '96? He wasn't nobody at that point and all that. You know what I'm saying?
I believe actually
we're not gonna say he wasn't nobody,
94.
but he wasn't Jay-Z.
I believe there were it was about
but
94,
he was.
Munchie. It wasn't even 96. Because 96 is his debut album,
Yeah,
which
people
kind of
was
put him
listening to him.
mainstream. But this was 2 years before that. You know, when he was doing like underground New York hip hop interviews at radio stations and stuff. Like, there's not even a lot of media of Jay-Z in '94. It's a lot of you know what I'm saying, like low key stuff.
The media was different back then, anyway. So it's like,
Correct.
It
I'm
wasn't.
sure there was a lot of shit going on that we didn't see.
That part.
You feel me? Everybody didn't have cameras in their pockets. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but guess what? They had the camcorders, right? And them people at the what's that? Freakniks. They never thought that'd come out.
Yeah, but also it was different though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a event. College kids, and even then, if you watch those videos when they're pulling out them cameras, like, you could tell by everybody's reactions, like, it was a big deal because it had this big ass camera in my face. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, bro, record them and they'll not even see you. They'll not even see you because it's discreet. We're so numb to cameras being in our face that we don't even be noticing it like that no more. So in them days, even if you walk around with a big ass camcorder, that's going to attract so much attention, and everybody's going to know they're being recorded. And I'm sure if they doing anything freaky, you're not pulling out that big ass camcorder that's sitting on your shoulder.
We got meta glasses today.
You know?
On B team, I got some at the house. I can just record.
That's how it be.
You
really got some?
Yeah, hell yeah, at the house. Hell yeah, I could be from the back. They could just all ass like on Inglewood.
How much they run you?
I don't know. I didn't buy them.
I think you got to be pretty foolish to believe that Pusha T and Jay-Z were anyway involved with like Epstein's foolishness to like a
because Clips wasn't nobody yet either.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. I would have believed if somebody said that Jay-Z was the drug dealer back then or whatever. That would have just further validated the lore of Hov. But for him to be mixing in these circles, like, people don't understand how big of a person Epstein was as like a financier. He was able to buy his own island.
While all of this develops, Jaguar Wright has adopted a remarkably steady position. Instead of intensifying her vocabulary, she has situated herself as a watcher, viewing incidents coordinate with what she has cautioned regarding for years. Her communication has stayed steady. The reality does not always appear noisily, but it always appears finally. Jaguar presents this instance not as justification, but as a prompt. She frequently states she talked out soon because she possessed nothing to shield. No billion-dollar trademark, no business alliances, no sector safety cushion. From her outlook, quietness is the actual money of authority. And once that quietness fractures, everything transforms. She has stressed that she never requested individuals to unquestioningly trust her. Rather, she prompted them to observe trends. Who becomes shielded, who becomes shamed, and who vanishes from dialogues entirely. Currently, as arguments storm online and connections seem to move, her previous cautions are being rebroadcast with refreshed curiosity.
I can't wait for everybody to find out what's really been going on in the background. Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one. I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane. Move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah. Amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. What more do I need to say? I told y'all this. I told you him and all of his friends is wild. I told you that they out here moving people around. Literally, physically, spiritually, moving people around. I've been telling y'all that for years. For years. I really don't have nothing to say. Oh, you know what I'm going to start saying? Refer back to my earlier videos. I know some people are new. And guess what? That's a shame. Because this information is old and it's been around for quite some time. You know how many people sat here on this very app and told me nothing was ever going to happen to Diddy? I was going to be unalive for all of the things that I was saying, that nothing was ever going to happen to Diddy, that Diddy and Jay-Z are the kings of the industry, and it ain't going to be this and it ain't going to be that, and I'm crazy, and I'm... For 5 years. Yeah. Everything that they talking about, I done already said.
So what do you consider? Are we observing another influential character encounter the tribunal of communal belief, or is this an instance where rumors are racing ahead of the truths? Permit us to understand in the remarks underneath. And if you enjoy this clip, press that follow icon so that you never fail on any fresh clips. And until then, family, stay authentic.